Welcome to another segment of Real Spill. I'm Charles Michael. This is what we call Facts Over Feelings, and another production of Charlie's World. Today, we want to talk about, first I want to give a shout out to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan and our big brother, the King. His wife passed, the Queen passed, Mother Khadijah Muhammad, which was a very loss. She was 90 years old. God gave her a grateful life of 90 years of trying to reform us as much as they possibly can. So I think, me personally, that they need to build a statue for her and him in all the black communities. We really need to be able to do that. So if you got anybody that's listening that have a whole lot of money, please, give to any type of a community that's going to be willing to help build a statue for them. Also, I want to get into the fact that it was 4th of July. Now, it was 250 years of celebration that these people have been doing that celebrate a slave owner, a massive slave owner, somebody who enslaved and had slaves and killed and raped and murdered and robbed and did everything he could possibly do to us as a people, and we celebrating his birthday. We need to get out of, black people personally, I believe personally that we need to get out of celebrating these white folks' birthdays, because it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with the oppression that they put on us, and we celebrate it, and all that. And not only that, we make them rich. You think about all the stuff, the money that we spend. Okay, you got these pagan holidays. Okay, you have Easter. Guess what we do? We go to the supermarket and buy a bunch of stuff to get eggs and all that kind of stuff to celebrate and teach our children, which is something very, 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 very wild about Easter. If you ever really learn the true history about Easter, I really won't get into that right now, but we need to get out of these type of holidays, because don't you know all the supermarkets are basically owned by what they call Jewish people that really not Jewish people. They're just Caucasian people, but they stole the name of and called themselves Jewish, which came from the word of the tribe of Judah, which were all black people. And Israel is not a real land, it's a people. The Bible says that. God says in the Bible, he said, Israel is my firstborn. So he's talking about a people. So if anybody knows that the black man and woman are the oldest people on the face of this earth, then he's talking about us. But white people know that, the scholars, they really know that, and they hid that from us for a long time. But it's time for us to start waking up and start realizing who we are as people. But stop going to these supermarkets and filling up our baskets with stuff and buying meat and doing all that kind of stuff from people that really don't respect us and appreciate us. We need to stop going to places that don't have no love for us and spending our money. A person walking the gas station and say, man, I go in the gas station, I don't like the way the dude treat me. Stop going there. Quit spending your hard-earned money with them. Stop going to Asian people that talk behind your back and talk about you, and then get on social media and say that black people is ignorant and this and that and this and that. Yeah, a lot of us are, because they don't have the things that the torment and torture that we went through. But a lot of them benefited from civil rights. Most of them. That's how they got here. Asians, they all got here. Mexicans, they all got here under the roof of civil rights. Something that we fought, bled, died for. So now it's time for us to really come together collectively. And I'm wrapping all this up into 4th of July, because 4th of July is a pagan holiday. You understand me? They got the red, white, and blue, okay? The flag, which is their flag, Okay, the white represents their color, the red represents the blood that they spill, and the blue is the color of the sea, because the sky look blue, but it's actually clear. So that's their colors. So if you really understand where we at and what's going on in the world right now, we really need to come together and get our own stuff. Everybody's not complaining about nothing. No Hispanic, Mexicans, no Asians, nobody are complaining as a whole, because they have their own stuff. Everybody have their own stuff. They have their own businesses. They have all that. Yeah, of course, you know, the Arabs, and guess what? The banks will give them loans before they give us loans. They give them loans to open up businesses in your community that they won't give you, even though you've been banking with Bank of America and Chase and all these different people for 20 years, even though you may not have no more than $2,000 or $3,000 in there. But it's still, they'd have made enough money off that $2,000 and millions of dollars to ever take a chance on you to give you some type of loan to open up a business and be able to support your own community and where your people can patronize the business in that community. We don't have no businesses. We don't have nothing as a whole. The only thing we got is a couple barbershops and beauty salons and maybe one or two barbecue pits if we have that. But we need to have more different stuff. We need to produce clothing and all kind of stuff. We just have to come together, and we have to stop saying, oh, we ain't gonna be able to do that. Black people, this and that, they this and that, this and that. Anytime you see somebody saying that, I was debating with a brother at the job yesterday. He was like, man, black people ain't, so it's over with. Anytime you get around them type of people, get away from them kind of people. That means them people are not gonna partake in us coming together. So let them out. You know what I'm saying? But we're in what you call in the valley of shadow of death in the book. Because God and the devil had a conversation, and God came up to the devil, and the devil came up to God and told him, he said, I'm going to come from the left, the right, the front, and the back of them. He said, you won't leave all your people faithful. And he said, you might, and I'm just verbatim, I'm not quoting this just on point, but he said verbatim, God said, yeah, you might get some of my people. He said, you're going to get all of them, but the purest ones. He said, and those who follow you, I should certainly fill hell with them all. And this is the time where we're about to come to. It's about the time right now. So now, in order to be able to live, you're going to have to be able to be willing to die, because death is going to come to your doorstep. Trust and believe that. At every turn you see, they finna try to put their foot on your neck. And if you ain't willing to die, you're not going to be able to live. So if you're willing to live on your knees, then that's you. But me, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. So, and with that, I'm saying to all of our people, it's time for us to put down all the foolishness, all the crazy shit, and we need to get our youth together. We need to tell our youth and teach our youth, because our youth is out there killing one another. But as soon as they get to prison, they see that it's a whole new different ball game. When I was in prison, it used to be the Mexicans against us, where we was always in fight and different stuff like that with the Serranos. The Norteños used to be with us. Now I heard that they joined the Serranos, and the Serranos was always ones who fought with the white boy. So now when you get to jail from killing your own brother, and you get there now, you feel like you're going to see that you was actually doing harm to your own people, because now you got to fight with this white boy and this Mexicans. Everybody's against us. So now for us to stand up together and realize who the real enemy is, and us to really watch out for each other, and take our community back. Take our community back and start trying to build shops and clothing and different stuff like that, stores and all that stuff, for us to patronize and keep our own money in our own community and enrich our own community. And once our communities do it, everybody else is going to fall in behind. So we got to be an example. One of us have to be an example. One of the states in these countries, one of these cities in these states, one of us going to have to be an example and show us that we really can do this. And let's do this, people, because we really need to.